What's up, guys? Scott here from theScore eSports here with Smoothie after a pretty decisive 2-0. What do you think about the series?
So after P1 took the series off TSM, we were, I guess, honestly a bit complacent, like going into the games, but we prepped a lot more than we were going to initially, and that definitely helped us out.
I was going to say, yesterday P1 took the game off the undefeated TSM. Coming into today, what kind of extra prep did you guys end up doing? Was it more draft style or was it more mentality style?
A bit of both. I think like we prepped a lot for like cheese picks that they could have pulled out. Like we had Twitch and Rengar, of course, from like yesterday, and we just anticipated like what the cheeses are gonna pull out, and they actually didn't do anything. They did pretty normal drafts, and it was a little surprising because like we definitely thought they were gonna pull out something random, but yeah, it worked out in our favor, and we just took the series.
Do you consider P1 to be a better team than their current standings right now?
Definitely. I think they don't roll over anymore like they did in the early parts of the season, but I'm not sure like where they are, like in terms of standings right now, because it's like so far in the season, but they actually know how to play like proactively now, and it's not as easy as before.
Let me ask you a little bit about your preparation. So going to the second game, Malzahar is super high priority. I noticed that you guys tried to bait a mouse pick, and your answer to it was Zilly and Jin. Was that something that you guys had planned ahead of time?
So the Jin pick wasn't as planned, but with Sivir and Ashe being banned, we have a pretty high priority on Jin. I think most teams do at this point, because there's not really any good answers to him, because all the other ADCs are like what? We have Lucian and like, I don't know, we have some Tristana. Tristana kind of punishes like the Jin slow pushing, but I think that Jin is pretty high priority, and Zillion does really well into Malzahar. So yeah, it worked out really good for us.
Talk to me a little bit about Tristana, because you guys played against Trist, and actually P1 has this crazy Trist build where they rush Yomus. I had opinions from other pro players. They said they didn't really like it. What do you really think about Trist and that build?
So I don't like Trist at all. Like her laning phase is pretty whatever, and she takes a long time to scale, and I don't think that's like you have the time of day to do it, because I think the reason people pick Trist right now is to like punish like slow pushing ADCs like Jin and just take turrets, I guess, faster. But there are ways around it, and we never really thought it was an issue.
Then talk to me about the support pool right now, especially I see you're one of the only two players to play Thresh, and you and Afro, I think, are the only Thresh players in North America. Why is that?
So honestly, I just recently picked up Thresh. It was kind of like a book out of Bunny's book, I guess, on a page out of Bunny's book, and like the situations where I'd pick it, but it definitely works out really well into like certain scenarios. I'm not gonna say because yeah, and yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty good pick right now, in my opinion.
And what about the wide champion pool? I talked to you a little bit about how there's almost 20 viable picks. Do you really enjoy that right now?
Of course. Like right now, you could literally play anything almost. Like there's so many different picks, and there's some. In Korea, they play like Tom Kanj, Tarek, and stuff, but in NA, people haven't picked those up too much yet. But those are also options, and it fits really well to my champion pool, because I really like engagey playmaking supports like Thresh, Bard, and Alistar, which are like the three most prevalent supports right now, in my opinion. So this is like my meta, I think, and I'm gonna abuse it.
Do you feel like, obviously you played very well today, you got player of the game the first game, did you feel like you single-handedly kind of boxed out the first game, or did you feel like that was like more of a combination of your team just playing very well?
So we didn't play like amazing the first game. I don't even know, like honestly the first game's kind of a blur to me at this point, because we didn't play like super well the first game, and I didn't feel like I did as much as I could have done. So we're definitely gonna look at that game and like see what mistakes we did wrong. But I actually don't know why I got player of the game. I felt like I didn't do anything. Well, that's what I remember, but kind of weird.
It's okay. It's completely fine. Let's look toward the future. Right now, you guys are, I think, tied in third place, and you're going to fight Liquid next week. How important is third place for you guys?
So right now that the Mortals can actually get first place, I don't think third and fourth matter too much, because before I think we'd try to avoid TSM if possible in playoffs early on. But yeah, I don't think it matters too much right now, because they have to play for #1 spot too. So yeah.
Is there no big difference? Because a lot of teams are telling me that they want to chase third to so they can play against potentially Apex or Envy as opposed to like one of the other two. Are they considerably? Do you think it's a considerable advantage to be able to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Like Immortals and TSM are when they're playing like really good, they are like super dominant. And even though we can take games off them, you'd rather avoid them early. And yeah, I guess that would be a pretty nice break. I don't actually know the playoff format too well right now because I don't know we didn't really focus on playoffs yet. We're just focusing on the now, right? So yeah, we could verse one of those teams. It'd be a lot better for us.
You told me you're not really focused on the Worlds, playoffs, or any of that. I talked to Afromoo, and I even asked him, I was like, are you guys even thinking about Worlds? And he responded, absolutely not. So have you guys even thought about Worlds at all, or any even deep in playoffs at all?
I don't think so. No, not at all. Because the lane swap meta is going to be changing a lot in the next couple patches. I think that Riot announced, and like the meta is going to shift so hard. So I don't think it's even worth looking at in the future right now, and just focusing on making third place and just getting the best seed we can.
A lot of people are saying that the lane swap meta might just disappear, or it might be a lot less prevalent, and because of that, you might have to lane 2v2 a lot more with Sneaky against other bot laners. I've heard comments out there, especially from Double Lift, that says Sneaky isn't really a great laner. What comments do you have about that?
Well, actually, I don't even know because I think our laning is like pretty okay. Maybe we could punish a bit more than we should, but I don't know. I think we do pretty well in lanes, honestly. But I don't know about the never being 2v1 situations. I think that I haven't played the patch, of course, yet because it's not out. But I think there's going to be more defense situations, like 2v1, then the bot lane will go down to defend instead of pushing more. Or I think that's probably the best situation, or a possible one. But yeah, I don't think that like we're weak at all. That was just a random comment that doesn't really make sense to me.
With this constantly shifting meta about to come out, do you feel like you guys are in prime position to take over that, or do you guys feel like you might be maybe a little bit slow in adapting? Like how quick is C9 to adapt to new stuff?
I think we've been pretty good about it in the past. Like I think if we find we find good champs in the meta pretty fast. We all have a pretty good understanding of our role and what's strong and what champs are good to other champs. So I think we're gonna do pretty well in adapting to the meta.
Do you have any last minute words to say to your fans out there after your win today?
I mean, I guess just keep supporting us, and like we're gonna keep improving till near playoffs. Well, even after playoffs, of course. But and sorry about the slump from earlier because I don't know, that was just a really rough week, and we were changing the way we played. But I think it'll be better from now on.
One of the best Thresh players in North America. This is Smoothie. I'm Scar here from theScore eSports. You can find more content online and on our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.